Fancy. Kenny, I appreciate the extra time you gave me by playing that song, but it's appropriate, I guess, this morning based on all the stuff that's happening over the weekend in the Middle East. Here we go again. On camera right now on our podcast is Robert Patton, who is are you the new chairman of the MAC, the military?
This year's chair.
I guess I should turn your mic on.
This year's chair, that's right.
This year's chair. Well, congratulations
Thank
for you, and you've been working pretty hard with that position. Also in studio with us is Jamie McLaughlin with the Fayetteville Chamber. What is it called? The Greater Fayetteville Chamber?
Greater Fayetteville Chamber.
Yes. Well, it's good to have both of you here.
It's good to be here.
And I've got all three of us on camera right now because, there's always something going on with the MAC and with the Chamber in our community. I'm going to get off camera. Bob, what's going on?
So we last couple of years, we've really built a lot of momentum with the MAC. COVID really hit us pretty hard. I mean, it hit everybody hard, but we were down to about 30 members. We've built our way back up to 150 active members right now. We have set ourselves a goal to try to hit 200 this year. Really energized a lot of programs. Last November, we came in and chatted with you about the Operation Patriot Pantry, which was the food drive that directly supported soldiers and families on post. We've done a lot of other things. We did the shooting event, that we talked about a year and a half ago. So we're slowly adding in activities to get that connection with the community installation. And, timing is everything. What a better day to talk about this, about connecting the installation with the community. The first ones to always go, the old saying of when you have an emergency, you call 911. When the president has an emergency, he calls 910. Holds true today more so than any other day. So, we're going to talk about some things that we're doing, again, to greater connect community with installation and vice versa, and build those relationships and that network for good times and bad, right?
You talk about this community. We've seen the military equipment going down the rail line, and it's inevitable if there's a conflict somewhere in the world. Of course, the 82nd Airborne Division, we talked about this as well. Yeah. They have the ability to have wheels up anywhere in the world within 18 hours. Right. That's nothing that is new to our community. Right. We know that. So if someone's knocking on the door, as I used to say as a reporter, you just mentioned this, when the president dials 911, that phone call is answered here at Fort Bragg.
That's exactly right.
That's what's happening right now. And it impacts our community beyond the soldiers. Jamie, you know that for a fact as well. You work with the Chamber, and when stuff like this happens, your phone probably rings off the hook as well.
Well, and I think we need to explain what MAC is. MAC is the Military Affairs Council from the Greater Fayetteville Chamber, and it's been the primary connection between the business community and our friends at Fort Bragg for almost 70 years. So this has been an institutional division of the Chamber for, decades. Yeah. It's important.
And when something like this happens, what role does the Chamber play? Because you guys are connected with all the businesses here.
Well, just like Rob mentioned, the Operation Patriot Pantry, that came from the response to Post saying we need to fill up our food bank. And we were planning a fall social with all the bells and whistles. And we looked at it, and both Rob Patton and Ferd Irizarry, the retired general who was our chair last year, said, we need to do something about that. And they got a truck, they got a location, and we started marketing it, and people came out and donated, and we filled that pantry back up.
Yeah.
With the Armed Services YMCA.
We talk about all the things, and Robert, you mentioned this, the competition that you had with the drones and everything that. Right. There's always something going on.
Yeah, there really
I don't care if it's pickleball or whatever it might be. The Military Affairs Council and the Greater Chamber kind of work hand in hand when you have these events.
100%.
You got something coming up here that you want to share that is of great importance to us?
So I want to kind of go down the list of things we got on the docket this year.
It's a full calendar.
It's a full calendar. So the first thing, and the first one I'm going to talk about is a brand new concept that we've been kicking around for a little bit. We're calling it the CRISP, which is a Community Region Installation Support Program. Fundamentally what that is, so you remember Hurricane Florence. I was the guy that had to work the day-to-day response for that. The time to know who you're calling, who's on the other line, is not when there is an extremist situation. So we want to bring key stakeholders, electeds together, key members of the community together, just A, to get together to network, build relationships, but B, talk about events that could affect the installation of the community where there's mutual support, whether it's a hurricane, whether it's a deployment, there's a whole series of things. We're going to do these quarterly so that we can build those relationships, start talking about things, and get people thinking about what if this happens, what actions, reactions do we have, need to take place. It's not going to be a planning session. It's more of, hey, let's think about, but more importantly, let's get to know each other better so we have a relationship. So when I pick up the phone and call somebody, I know who's on the other end and they know who's, vice versa.
It's interesting, Robert, that you and I don't know if we met each other on
We did.
C-130 or
It was
were we on
it was a
C-141?
17 flying into Kandahar.
Going into Kandahar. And so it's just amazing how this stuff comes full circle. Here we are sitting now. We don't have any strapped seats. We're comfortable here. But as we speak, our soldiers are heading harm's way.
Right.
And a lot of folks don't understand. And I made the point that 1% of Americans raise the hand to protect the country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. But our soldiers, our airmen, Marines, are responsible for 100% of the security of our country. And that's going on now. And I don't want anybody to lose sight on that.
No.
That's important.
Not at all. And that's another benefit to being a member of the MAC is you get that touch point with the installation, with the senior leaders, with the soldiers. You mentioned the pickleball and the Patriot Pantry. We're going to do that again this year. This year we're doing it in June. We're finding a Saturday that works for everybody. But we're going to have the pickleball, and I don't know if we fully hit this. We did talk about it, but last year, through the pickleball event, through the funds that we raised, we were able to create a scholarship for FTCC for military-connected students that paid for 3 members of the military to be able to go to school to FTCC.
That's great.
So we're doing that again this year in conjunction with pickleball. So you can come out, play pickleball, bring some cans of food, have a great day. And one of our key members, they're all key members, but one of our members, Texas Roadhouse, is going to be providing some appetizer tickets. So if you bring cans, he's going to have a bunch of appetizer tickets. So there's more benefit. So you can get some exercise, have some fun, and then provide to the families on the installation at a key time that the ASYMCA says that they typically are low on food.
When we talked to you, you said you have a list, and I don't want time to get away here, but make sure we include everything on the list.
Right.
Is your list different than Jamie's list? Or Jamie, you have some things, or you are in conjunction?
She actually, one of her key functions with the chamber is to oversee MAC functions and plans and everything. So she sits side by side with us when we have our meetings. So this is actually a little list from our last meeting we had. But when you get older, you don't remember things, so you got to bring.
There you go.
Got to bring your list.
All right. What else you got?
So we've got coming up May 8th. We've got a military ball. Call it a military ball, but it's a MAC ball. Part of it is, representing the 250th anniversary of our nation. It also coincides with the 81st anniversary of VE Day, Victory in Europe Day. So that'll be another great event to come out to. We already talked about pickleball and Patriot Pantry. We've set 11 November is our annual Sunset Liberty March. You're familiar with that. For the folks that may not be, every night on the installation, you can go up. You're escorted by the field officer of the day. You go up to the flag. There's commemorative plaques along the way that talk about the history of the installation and units on it. But 11 November, we're doing that.
Now, let me point that out, because when the I forgot which general it was, and when this all came to light, when they put that walkway together,
right.
it emulates the one that's overseas as well, where
That's exactly right.
walk has still been going on since World War II.
Correct.
In memory of the Americans who gave their lives.
That's exactly right.
And so you have to register. And I remember I registered for my walk, to make the walk in memory of my father who served in World War II.
Right.
And I was going to do it on my birthday, August 16th. But you have to kind of register. And do you get a little certificate? Are they still doing that?
They still do. As a matter of fact, we did it last November, and we did it to commemorate Sergeant George Brees in his time in service. So we were able to give George the certificate for that. But they do. It's a very nice little certificate. You can get it framed. It's really a nice little deal. We will have a fall social again. This time it'll be in November. And then one thing that we're doing for our members as well is quarterly breakfasts where we're going to have guest speakers. The first one we're looking at doing is going to be in March, and we're looking to potentially get someone from the Western Hemisphere Command to come out and talk about now the difference between FORSCOM and the Western Hemisphere. And having received that brief, there are some significant differences to the operation side of that 4-star headquarters now.
Well, and we were just now talking about the soldiers who are out there.
That's right.
They can't do what they have to do without the support of the sustainment brigades and all the folks that
That's
are
right.
out there. Talk about that a little bit, because I don't think people have a full understanding of what it takes to get our Army to participate in any type of conflict.
I don't know with the current ratio right now, but it used to be 12 to 1. It used to take 12 support personnel, whether that's finance, your dentist, your quartermaster, your transportation, to one trigger puller, whether it's infantry, armor, artillery, etc., to do their job. So there is literally an army behind the army of the folks that, make the headlines. The Army does not sustain itself, you can't do anything without the sustainment folks, whether that's the ordnance kids fixing the trucks, whether it's the, personnel people bringing in new replacements, moving people into different assignments, whatever we have it. Those are really the unsung heroes, my opinion, in the military, all branches, because they're the ones that are doing the day-to-day stuff, the non-sexy stuff, but nothing functions without those support folks across the board.
All right. Well, Robert, you've got a bunch of stuff on the list here stretched out to November.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure we do that as we come to each one of those,
Yeah.
we give you the microphones again to reiterate that this
Love
one
it.
is coming up, this one is coming up.
Love it.
And Jamie, the chamber, how are we doing? Because I haven't talked to you guys in a little bit, but the last time we were talking, you were busting at the seams. You're gonna have 1,000 members and everything. How are we doing?
We still are.
What's
Still
going
are.
on?
The Greater Fayetteville Chamber has over 1,000 members. I think over 1,300 now. And we just had an event last Thursday where our annual awards, where we truly celebrated the best of the best. So we've got a huge calendar coming up with State of Community, a job fair, our oyster roast this year. So this is definitely the time to be a part of the Greater Fayetteville Chamber.
What do people have to do to become members?
Just go to faybiz.com and to become a member of the MAC Council, it's militaryaffairscouncil.com. So 2 easy ways.
Well, the one thing that I remembered is you said that we may not have the largest, but we have the most active. Statewide. Are we the largest now?
I think we're one of the largest in the Southeast for sure. I think we're in the top 5 in the Carolinas.
But no question, hands down, the most active.
Most active. We go on those 3 pillars of advocacy, networking, and education, and we stay true to it. So we have a ton.
Yeah, what I liked was the fact you used to say that some of the other chambers like to just come to our events because they're so active. That's a pretty cool way to.
We do. We have members that drive from Wilmington and Raleigh and basically say we love your events. So we have over 150 events a year and a full advocacy group and a magazine that's out on stands. So if you see Engage magazine, those are all of our members in the back.
All right, Jamie, Robert, we appreciate you both coming out. Won't be the last time. Let me know when you have more things coming. We'll get you back on the air here.
Will do. Appreciate you.
Okay, you're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC. Where's my voice going? We've got Fayetteville's most dependable forecast right now with CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunson.
Today we'll have cloudy skies, as well as it will be noticeably cooler with a high of only 53. Overnight will be mainly cloudy with a few showers and a low of 44. Tuesday will also be mostly cloudy with a high of 63. Other than the chilly start today, the rest of the week will be warm, with high temperatures even reaching the 70s and 80s later this week. That is your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
All right, Rachel, thank you so much. Right now, we've got 43 degrees in Pembroke, Fayetteville, and also in Hope Mills. You're listening to News Talk 640 with WFNC.
Del Hair Plumbing. Fast, friendly, reliable. Flush your troubles away. Del Hair Plumbing. Clogged drains? Call Del Hair Plumbing. Serving Fayetteville and surrounding areas. Fast and reliable. From leaks to water heater repairs. Flush your troubles away with Del Hair Plumbing today. 910-429-9939.
This report is sponsored by Sandstone Health.